Hey guys, Duncan here. So I met a couple interesting characters this week and it got me thinking. And so, as usual, I'm coming to you with my thoughts, or as Taylor calls them, my friend Taylor, she calls them my Snapchat conspiracies. So I met these two guys this week at different times. They both own roofing companies, same industry, same area. One of them is highly successful, and one of them, from all appearances, is not. And so, during the course of meeting these guys, I had the opportunity to talk with them each for, 10 or 15 minutes. And some interesting things came out of those conversations that I think might contribute to their success or their apparent lack thereof. So let me tell you what I saw, and I don't know, maybe you'll find this interesting too. So I'm actually going to tell you about the second guy I met first. I met him today. Older white guy. He's owned his business for 20 years, according to him. He has earned, more than 100,000 for 3 years consecutively. He's built a whole lot of Dollar Generals around here. The whole time we're talking, he's telling me about, all this money he's made, all these big jobs that he's done, how long he's been doing this. But his truck's been broken down for a week. According to him, this is what he told me. He's driving his uncle's busted up Malibu and ran out of gas, so he needed a ride to the gas station. And so what I noticed here was this is a guy whose mentality is all about ego, and he's, hell bent on kind of demonstrating what a big deal he is and telling me all these things he's done. But he looks like a homeless dude, and I mean, he looks really rough, and I was not impressed. And the thing that really got me thinking is, if you're making 100 grand a year, why do you look the way you do? Why are you driving what you drive? Dude was not put together well at all. There was no semblance of success and I don't, you don't have to wear a three-piece suit to be successful, but he just looked thrown together and rough, looked real rough. Literally could have passed for a homeless guy. Like, I would have given him $1 if he'd been on the corner. The first roofer, who I'm going to tell you about now, was a completely different character. Now, this is a dude that I know from other people who is a millionaire. He's diversified his business. He says his business is primarily roofing now, but I know for a fact that he owns rental properties and real estate and a large construction company. So, the whole time I'm talking to this more successful guy, he's not talking about the money he's made and the jobs he's done. He's talking about people that he admires, mutual acquaintances, people that he thinks are smart, people that he thinks are successful, and he's talking about, those people that he admires. He's not talking about himself until I start asking him about stuff. I'm asking him, based on what I've heard from other people, tell me about these other things that you do. Tell me about rental property. Tell me, is it better to buy real estate and sell it, or buy real estate and keep it and rent it out? And he explains to me that he ran the numbers, and if he buys a house for 30, 40 grand and puts 20 grand into it and sells it for 75, then he's only making 25,000. But if he buys a house for 30 grand and keeps it and rents it for 500 a month, he actually will make twice as much money in 5 or 10 years. I'm paraphrasing. I actually haven't done the numbers, but he explained it well, and the math added up when he was explaining it. So the guy was smart, but he was not interested in talking about himself. He was clean shaven. He wasn't wearing a three-piece suit either. He was wearing jeans and a hoodie, but he was, his clothes were clean. He was driving a newish, not brand new, but newish sports car. Because he doesn't like driving his work truck. He's like 5'2", and he says he can't see over the steering wheel. But the difference in mindset, the difference in appearance, the difference in just the vibe that I got from these two guys really struck me. Same business, same industry, same area. One guy uses his money intelligently. He uses his money to make money, which if you study, wealth development and wealth creation at all like I do, that's a key principle is you got to turn your money into an army of golden slaves. The other guy, I don't know what he did with his $100,000 a year, but he sure wasn't driving it, and he sure wasn't wearing it, and he didn't look like money at all. He didn't talk like money at all. He probably didn't smell like money, but I didn't get that close to him. And so that's what struck me is the difference between how these guys presented themselves, what these guys were interested in talking about. Really, it was night and day. It was really interesting. And I've gotten to know over the past couple of years people who legitimately have done well for themselves financially, business owners who have done well in business, people who are successful, and to a T, everything that I've seen personally through these folks that I've been meeting is the same things that I'm reading as I'm studying these things in an attempt to do these things for myself is they are more interested in other people than in themselves. They study success. They are hungry to learn. They're curious. It's not about them. It's not about what they've done, even though what they do is calculated and they're clearly razor sharp. That's not what it's. So anyways, I just thought that was a neat opportunity to be able to, in a week's time, draw such a stark parallel between two folks who really are not that different in the work that they do. It's not glamorous work. They're not that different in the area because we're all in Central Arkansas. Their difference is in their mindset and what they choose to do with what success they have. One guy, I don't know what he did with it. The other guy, he was more than happy to tell me about the experiences that he's had and how he's tried to use it sharply and how he's failed to do that at times. He was more than happy to pass on that information. Tell you the truth, I liked him a lot better. That's the kind of guy I could model myself after. So you know me, when interesting thoughts occur to me, when interesting experiences arise, I like to pass them on. Maybe some of y'all will get some use out of that. Maybe you've had, experiences similar. If you have, I'd love to hear about it. If you've got thoughts, hit me back. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Oh, there was one other thing. The first roofer I met, the one who was, I know for a fact, successful, he told me a story that I think is worth passing on. He said when he was first getting started, he was buying his third house, his third investment house, and his wife was upset with him because they had a mortgage, they had bills, they had car payments, they had kids. He's just getting started and he's getting ready to spend $240,000 on another house. So he told me, when he sold that house, business really started to pick up. He's doing well. He had just made his, first $1 million. He ordered, had to get it shipped from Japan, a brand new, it was a 4Runner or something, some Japanese SUV, brand new, spec to the max. Got it to her, had it shipped over, said she never complained again. So the only thing I can figure is maybe that's why I have so much relationship trouble is when significant others complain about my entrepreneurial endeavors, I haven't bought any of them a car. So that's something I'm definitely going to keep in my back pocket for later.